Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Wraith here, back with another video. Now, recently I've been seeing a lot of people comment back kind of the OG question: how do I start a Fortnite YouTube channel, or how do I grow my Fortnite YouTube channel? Even a lot of comments saying, hey, come check out my channel, blah blah blah, which in my opinion is completely the wrong way to kind of help grow your channel. So basically in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some things that I did to build my channel to however many subscribers I'm at when you're watching this video. Some things that you can kind of do to either get started or kind of just support your own channel to maybe get a little bit more viewership, get some more consistent people watching. If you guys want to see a video exactly how I go through and how I made my channel, how I make videos, let me know down in the comments, or any specific questions you guys have. I'll try my best to get to every single one of them. But yeah, if you're looking forward to this video, make sure you slap a like button on it. Comment what you want to see for a future video. Hit that subscribe button. Use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and let's get into it. So for the first thing you're going to have to do is basically kind of make your channel look professional. And even if you already have a channel, I super recommend that you just completely either make your channel look professional, look solid, or try your best to kind of make it look as clean and as good as possible, so that way when people look onto your channel, it doesn't look like it's just some channel that doesn't post that often or has no thumbnails, etc. So like the main things that I would really focus on, and so many people even struggle to do the simple steps that really hurt your channel, like you have no idea. Like the first thing I click on is I always kind of look to make sure what the profile picture is, or the banner, the channel art at the very top of the screen or the top of your channel. Personally, I got a professional person to do that off Fiverr. It was literally like 25 bucks. Obviously if you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Like you can either make your own, you can find some, just try your best to kind of make one that's solid, that looks good, looks professional, or find one that looks good, looks professional. Or if you're really serious about YouTube and you really want to dive into it, get as many viewers and subscribers as possible, just literally spend $25. You'll make it back in the long run. It's super worth it. And just like when you click on the channel and you see that they have proper profile picture, like it looks dope, good channel art, it looks clean, it looks professional, you're so much more likely and inclined to subscribe. The next thing would be your thumbnail. Thumbnail is super important to make sure you're getting views. Make sure people, and again, when they look on your channel, it looks professional, it looks good. For me, I kind of make my own thumbnails. I've just kind of stuck with what works for me, what I personally like the most. You guys can kind of see I have series here or there that I kind of stick with, or I kind of just make different thumbnails. I personally use Canva as a free app, so I don't pay anything for my thumbnails. That's what I use. You can look up videos on YouTube for like 5-10 minutes, figure out how to make them super easy. The next thing would be learning how to use tags properly. That's literally the best way to get views consistently, is learning how to use tags as well as a good title. And the best way for me personally is I use TubeBuddy. It costs like, I think $100 for a year, something like that. For me, I bought it right away because I realized how important they were. You can find a different app. You can kind of just make your own. If you don't know what tags are, way too long of a video, way too long of a topic for me to explain in just this quick video. So if you're looking forward to that, or if you're looking for more information on that, just kind of look at it in YouTube, how to properly create tags for your YouTube video, whatever the case is. Or you can download an app and it'll download other people's tags that they use for specific videos. But yeah, just making sure you have tags down, thumbnails properly, your profile picture, your wall art, all of that, just making sure it has clean professional look is super important to getting an audience and getting people to subscribe. Because if they think your channel doesn't look good, most likely not going to subscribe and continuously watch. Now my next tip, and this is honestly I would say the #1 thing that's kind of allowed me to succeed at YouTube, and that is cross promotion through other apps. So what I did when I personally first started, I literally had like obviously the same amount as anyone starting, like 10-15 subscribers, mostly just my friends, like my close friends that I told about, which I I highly recommend you guys tell your friends about them. Get your friends to show you their support. If they make fun of you, probably not good friends you want to have. If you trust your friends and you know they're like good people, then 100% get their support, get them every viewer count, every comments counts. But what I did was I created an Instagram, posted all my clips on Instagram. A lot of you guys might actually know me from there. I don't really post as much there just because I don't have as much time anymore, unfortunately. But what I do is I just post and then I DM people. It's a little bit annoying, but it worked. I would DM like 150 people every single day, just being like, who are commenting on professional like Ninja's post or Mongrel's post or something like that, and I just DM them and be like, hey, sorry to bother you, I just want to let you know that I do tips and tricks. for Fortnite. And if you had any time, I would love if you can check out my channel and let me know what you think. Literally 80% of the time I wouldn't get a response, so literally like 100 messages I wouldn't get a response. 25 they'd just be like, hey, like leave me alone. And then like 10, 15 would be like, yeah man, like I'll check it out. And those didn't always work for subscribers, so I maybe only got 4, 5, 6 subscribers every 150 people I message. But those really started adding up, and the more and more it started adding up. Once you get over that like 100, 500 subscriber mark and you have consistent viewers, it's just so much easier to grow, because then your videos start getting put on the explore page, blah blah blah, people are finding them through search, etc etc, right? So just finding the first couple kind of 100 subscribers is really important. A great way to do that is, like I said, do what I did on Instagram. You can now have TikTok. I personally created my channel before TikTok kind of even happened, so I couldn't take advantage of that, but it'd be a great way to grow your channel now. Just post your Fortnite clips on there, link your YouTube, and then just say at the end of every video or at the start, saying, hey, if you don't mind checking out my YouTube, I'd really appreciate it. You can I've seen channels blow up, like get like 10,000 subscribers in literally 2 weeks just off TikTok videos blowing up. So yeah, definitely cross promote is one of the best ways to grow your channel. If you aren't doing that right now, it's gonna be pretty difficult. Another thing you can kind of do is Twitter or Twitch, kind of do that as well. Twitch is probably the hardest to cross promote though, so I wouldn't really worry about that yet. So my next thing would be look over your videos after you're done and kind of see what you need to improve upon. And a lot of things you can do is also ask people like what they recommend, which I'll talk about in my next tip. But basically, look over your videos. I don't do it as much anymore just because I'm pretty settled with kind of what I want to do. I like what I do. I like the kind of style of videos I make. But when you're just starting up, especially me, like if you go back and look at my first couple of videos, they're completely terrible to what they were at the very start, or completely terrible to what they are now. It's just all about kind of improving, getting better, making your videos more watchable, more people inclined, and you can kind of look over your videos or look over every like couple weeks and be like, okay, like, is there anything I could do to make my thumbnails a little bit better? Is there anything I can do to make my videos more interesting? Should I start maybe, whatever the case is, like depending on what you're doing. If you do montages, can you be like, hey, can I maybe focus a little bit more on my editing? Can I work on my clips a little bit more? Take a little bit more time, find better clips. Whatever the tips is. If you do tips and tricks, be like, can maybe I find a little bit better tips and tricks, or whatever the case is, right? Just spend time looking at your videos after you're done to kind of figure out what you can do a little bit better, because you always want to be improving. So the next tip, which I said I'd kind of touch upon, is engage with everyone you possibly can. Whether that's on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or especially on your YouTube. You guys know me if you watch my videos. I try my best to kind of go through every like couple of days, go through the last couple of videos and just reply to any comments. Sometimes obviously I won't always get to them depending on what I'm doing in my life, if I have time, etc. And obviously I'm not going to be able to get to videos from like 4 months ago that someone comments recently on, just because I get too many notifications. But I always try, read through the comments of especially my last 2 or 3 videos I've posted every like week or so, or every time I post. Try my best to reply to every comment. And the best thing about that is, one, is the people feel like you're engaged with them, which is super important, because you shouldn't think of them as just like money. You shouldn't think as people watching your videos are just like kind of doing it. Like you should actually like feel kind of connections. Like I know tons of you guys who watch my videos and comment every time. Like the amount of guys I know from like under 1,000 subscribers when I first started out who are still here and showing support and still comment is like unbelievable. Like you actually make kind of those people that you remember every single video, which is super cool. But not only that, it helps blow up your channel. The more comments you have, the more kind of stuff you have, the better it is. So it helps your all-around channel, as well as I'd say the most important thing is a lot of people like critiquing your videos, whether it's constructive criticism or kind of just criticism. It doesn't really matter for me, in my own opinion. I don't really get that much like kind of negative comments, thankfully. So a lot of my comments are more like, hey, like you should make this video, or maybe they disagree with me or something, and then I can just kind of take into account and be like, okay, you know what, like I'm gonna make this video, or I'm gonna change this style of things, or someone said this type of video would look a little bit better, or this editing would look a bit better, right? Just kind of throwing this stuff out there. But like, or a lot of the things I do is a lot of people really comment down below what videos they want to see, which is really good for inspiration, and kind of giving you a good idea of what to make, because obviously you should be making what your fans want you to make, because if you're not, obviously they're not going to stick around. Obviously you want to make things that you enjoy making, but if you run out of ideas or you want to maybe branch out a little bit more, take a look in your comments. Most likely if you have enough people commenting, they'll give you some ideas. So the next tip would be always writing down new ideas, thinking of new ideas, and even like looking around for inspiration. Like me, for example, especially with my channel, it is a little bit hard to not be repetitive, just because I do a little bit more tips and tricks and stuff, and I don't really want to go down the route of just like doing the same video every single day, because that just gets a little bit repetitive. So what I try and do is, if I ever run out of, like if I'm ever working or something like that, or outside, and I just think of a random video idea, or someone, like I said, comments it or something like that in my YouTube channel, I always have like a list on my computer, even on my phone sometimes, where I just write down a couple videos ideas, where if I run out of anything, I can always look on that list and be like, hey, you know what, this is a good video. Like for example, top 10 best mouses or mice, or whatever you want to call it. That video was recommended by a subscriber, and I made it, did really well. A lot of people liked it because, hey, like, why not? I didn't think of that. I never really thought about doing that until someone suggested it, and it ended up working really well. So just keep idea. Obviously, you don't want to steal. Another thing you can do is like kind of look online and look at other YouTube videos. Like for example, it's Jarian. I've used a couple of his videos ideas. I haven't like copied or anything like that. Like they might have the same title or something like that, just for the kind of explore purposes and search purposes, but like a lot of it are different tips, and I see like them do it all the time. Other YouTubers share other people's ideas. As long as you're not copying anyone, I think it's completely fine. If you do like a very similar idea, just give credit to them where credit is due. Give it to them in the description. Let people know that, hey, it's Jerry, put me onto this video, or this kind of style, or whatever the case is. But yeah, just looking around, finding new ideas, writing them down is just super important to make sure you're putting out consistent content. The next tip would be making sure you're being consistent, putting out videos as much as possible. Obviously, you don't want to put out videos if they're bad videos. If they require a lot of time, like montages or something like that, you only need to put out one once every single week. If you can, if your videos allow you to, put one out every single day if you can, as long as you're spending a good amount of time making thumbnails, tags, editing, making sure it looks good. Put out as much content as possible, but like obviously, like I said, if it takes a little bit longer, if you need to spend a little bit more time editing, doing whatever, just spend a little bit more time, make it good, make it better, because obviously the better the video, the more likely it's going to be good, and the more likely it's going to get picked up on the search and other people's channels. So now my last tip, and you can kind of save this until you start getting a little bit of money off YouTube, which normally happens, I'd say, around 1,000 to 5,000 subscribers, give or take. A lot of you guys don't have to worry about that yet, but if you do end up reaching there, in my opinion, literally investing all of your money back into your setup, if you really want to kind of improve and make the best videos possible, and kind of keep improving, keep growing, keep getting bigger, keep making more money, keep getting more fans, etc., and keep getting more viewers, the best thing to do is putting your money back in. Like the first thing I did when I started, like I was editing off a simple laptop and stuff like that when I started, and then I saved up money from YouTube, bought myself a PC. Obviously now it's a lot easier to edit. I can make higher quality videos. My gameplay is a lot better because I'm on PC now. The next thing, I went and bought a nice brand new microphone, super nice, allows my audio to be a little bit cleaner. And then, like I said, I bought that TubeBuddy that helped me with tags, etc. So in my opinion, if you start making some money, or if you really want to do YouTube and you have some money laying around, investing in it's really good idea, especially if you stick with it. It's definitely really good. You get your money back 10 times as much, especially because I doubt you're spending $10,000 on your setup, or whatever the amount, $15,000 in your setup, $2,000 on your setup. Like it should cost $1,000 to get a good setup, and you should make that money back in the long run if you're watching YouTube or doing YouTube in the long run. If you're just doing it for like a year or something like that, it's going to be pretty difficult to make your money back. But in my opinion, if you're doing it for the long run, you really enjoy doing it, put your money back in your setup and you will see returns on that investment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap a like button on it. Comment what you want to see for a future video. Hit that subscribe button and use creative code WraithFN in the item shop. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.